Jasper National Park is lesser known and very underestimated. Do you want to know why you should visit Jasper National Park? Do you want to see all the highlights you can do for free or within a budget? Or you're just here for my sparkling personality and stunning views? Either way, you came to the right place. Today we're going to explore Jasper National Park. My name is Bastiaan Bakker and this is the world at your feet. More than often, the ride towards your destination is a highlight on its own. Luckily, we're not in a hurry, so we can stop anywhere. Right now, I'm feeling like I'm driving through a Hallmark postcard. I can get so excited for nature. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow, wow, wow. Stunning, stunning. There's the first glacier. I've never seen a glacier before, so I'm a little bit excited. I'm gonna put on my shoes and let's check it out. It's not that cold actually. Welcome to this magnificent view. First and foremost, it's not as cold as it looks. I was expecting like severe cold. The last pit stop we made really was freezing. So a few things you see right here. Right over there you can see an avalanche is taking place. I don't know when, but you can see the snow falling down. Pretty impressive. Then down here is a lake, probably meltwater. And right over there behind me on that big sheet of snow and ice, in the far distance you can see those red trucks from the Columbia Icefield tours. So that's where they take you when you take the Columbia Icefield tours, midway of this big ice sheet, and then you can have your sightseeing and such. We're gonna walk over to the base. Parking here and walking to the base is free. We'll check out more details about the tours later on. First, let's go for a hike. The Columbia Icefields and its glaciers have grown and shrunk with the ice ages. In the last 250,000 years, glaciers have covered most of Canada several times. The Columbia Icefield is one of the last surviving remnants of this time. At the peak of its era, the Atabasca Glacier was about 2 kilometers longer than it is today. The Atabasca Glacier is getting smaller as the climate warms. You can trace its retreats by following the year markers along the route. The glacier recedes about 5 meters per year, making it easy for people who return here several times in their lives to see big changes. So we still got a little way to go, but look at the sign. In 1982 the glacier was up to this post. Now coincidentally that's my date of birth. So just imagine how much has melted in those last 25 years. Movement of the Atabasca Glacier shaped this valley into a U-shape, with steep sides and a flat bottom. In 1844, the glacier reached all the way to the Icefield center. Over 10,000 years ago, it extended all the way to the plains of Alberta. So we're now at the feet of the glacier. Up there you can see the tour, where the tour goes with the trucks. So here's the deal. To do the truck tour up to the Columbia Icefields is $116 Canadian dollars. If you do the afternoon tour after 3:30, you pay $88. That is included the ice bridge. The ice bridge separate is $45. Now personally, as we are going to drive all the way to Argentina and Chile, we're going to see plenty of glaciers and we got plenty of trips planned for those. Right now we're just going to stick with being at the base, because to pay $116 to go up there is just a bit further. For us, it's not worth it. If we would just be driving through Canada, then I would definitely do the tour. But like I said, as we're going to continue our journey towards the south, for us it's a bit redundant. Either way, it's beautiful up here. It's a little bit cold, there's a colder wind, but of course, we're going to enjoy the views. Enjoy! Although it might not seem like it, it's already 6 o'clock. So after enjoying the spectacular views over here at the feet of the glacier, we're gonna go to the visitor center where we are allowed to stay overnight. And there we're gonna see what other things we can do here in Jasper National Park. For now, oh, no, that's it. For now, just enjoy. Bye! Jasper National Park is home to a multitude of stunning waterfalls and beautiful lakes. And today we're gonna check some out. And as most of these sites are relatively close one to another, it makes for an excellent day to road trip through Jasper National Park, visiting these waterfalls while enjoying the stunning surrounding area. Next on our itinerary are some of the beautiful lakes Jasper National Park has to offer. Welcome to Lake Patricia, one of the many lakes you can visit here in Jasper National Park. Besides just chilling and enjoying the views, you can also rent a boat or a canoe and enjoy the lake. For swimming, it's up to you. I think it's very cold. So this is a really nice place to relax. There's some bungalows here as well. You can stay here for the weekend or for the week. We're going to explore some other lakes as well today. The only thing that we had to skip, there was a hike called Canyon of the Five Lakes. Unfortunately that was closed, so the 2-hour hike that we were going to do today around those 5 lakes we can't. But we're going to explore some other lakes today, but for now we're first going to take a break, have some lunch and enjoy this amazing view. So the reason why the 5-lake hike is closed is because of the fire last year. You've probably seen along the route a lot of burned trees. Last year there was a huge fire around Jasper. People had to evacuate. It really has affected a huge amount of territory. So some of the things that we wanted to do are closed. Maligne Canyon is also closed. This is a hike with a lot of bridges. All those bridges burned down, so there's not much we can do about that. Maybe when you come here in a year or whenever that will be reconstructed or replaced. So for now we're going to go back to the car, grab some lunch, and then we're going to go to the next lake. This is nice. So this is Pyramid Lake. And at Pyramid Lake somewhere there should also be a Pyramid Island with a little bridge you can take to go on the island. The reason it's called Pyramid Lake, right over there you got Pyramid Mountain. And as you can see, you can rent boats, you can do boat tours or just go for a swim. And this lake actually has a nice beach. Right over there you see some people barbecuing. We have not been invited, but it's still early. So nice day at the beach. I don't know how the water is though. It's actually pretty nice. Right over there you can see a little bungalow park. So here in Jasper National Park there are a lot of lakes, a lot of waterfalls, a lot of hiking trails and a lot of places to stay. So basically you can really spend some time here, and it's lesser known than Banff. It's also lesser crowded than Banff, but very enjoyable. At several places along the route and alongside Jasper we've seen like entire villages built of these containers, and those are temporary houses for the people that lost their house during the fires while they reconstruct their houses. Welcome to Lake Edith. All the lakes that we're visiting right now are relatively close to each other, and I like this lake the most. I don't know why, but it has some tranquil vibe. The watercolors are very clear and very beautiful in all of these lakes, and all of the lakes also have bungalows that you can rent if you want to stay at the lake. You can see the entire mountain is covered with burnout trees. So just imagine when this wildfire was going on, entire hills and mountain ranges were lit. Such a shame. Even so, it's still a beautiful lake to visit. And right over here is Lake Anette. It's a smaller and less crowded lake. It's more quiet. I also don't see any bungalows anywhere. Not much to say, but still beautiful. And with that, we conclude another day. We've got a few more places left to show you, but as they are on a little bit of a distance, we're gonna do them tomorrow. For now, back to Jasper and ready for a good night's sleep. So for our next pit stop, we're gonna hit two birds in one stone. Our destination is Maligne Lake, which is about 44 minutes drive, but the road towards Maligne Lake Road, is actually the first highlight that we're gonna do right now. This is a very scenic route for two reasons. One, because of the views, and the second one is because it's very known for wildlife spotting. However, in order to see wildlife, you have to be early. Right now it's 6:15 in the morning, and that's the best time between 6 and 7 to see some wildlife. So we're gonna drive slow. From now on. We're gonna drive slow and see if we can spot something. So as you can see, so far most of this area has been burned down. As for wildlife, I don't think we're gonna see a lot here at this part. Such a shame that the fire destructed so much of this forest. So much for a scenic route. Such a shame. But it's also awareness, because it goes to show how much damage a fire can do and how easy a wildfire like this can start. Just be aware when you are in the forest. Don't throw away cigarette butts. Always make sure you put out your campfire. And be aware, because fires like this, they start very easily. And they're very hard to put out, especially in dry weather. And with a bit of unluck and a bit of wind, it can devastate so much forestation. And it's such a shame, because this scenic route isn't that much scenic. Welcome to Lake Maligne. So as you can see, it's really quiet, but then again it's also really early. It's only 7:15. At this lake you can't see right now, but you could see in the map, it's actually a very large stretch, so a large lake as in lengthwise. You can do a boat cruise, you can rent a canoe, you can spend some day in the lake here. Up there are some restaurants, there's hiking trails, so you can really do a lot of stuff here. Spend a day in the lake, go hiking or fishing and enjoy nature. And what I really like, the smell of forest, it's beautiful. I just love nature. So there's Lake Maligne for you. Enjoy! I saw some of the posts of the hikes. Some of them are long, some of them are shorter. Two of them are actually 2.7 and 2.9 kilometer. So it's only an hour or two. And I thought, we drove all this way, woke up pretty early to get to this lake, just to take a few shots and then drive back. It's a bit of a waste. So I decided, as Jolanda's really tired, to go for a hike myself. I decided to go for the Moose Loop towards Moose Lake, 2.7 kilometers, 1 or 2 hours. Let's go for a hike. Well, I'm no expert, but that's definitely shit. I don't know from what though. So that's what I mentioned before in the car. Fires in the forest, they start really easy when it's dry, especially if there's assholes like this person who found it necessary to smoke a cigarette and then throw the cigarette butt away. I'm like, if you can carry your pack of cigarettes and your lighter with you in your bag, you can carry your cigarette butt to the garbage tractor. This is just really someone being a disrespectful person, has completely no consideration for nature whatsoever. It's these kind of assholes that provoke these kind of fires, so shame on you, really. Right here you see some mushrooms. I don't know if they're magic. I'll let you know. Probably not such a good idea. Now, all jokes aside, needless to say, you shouldn't eat anything from the forest if you're unaware what you're eating, like mushrooms or berries or such, because some stuff can be poisonous. And if you're here all by yourself in the middle of nowhere, that's not really a cool plan. So we have arrived at Moose Lake. It's a beautiful lake, as you can see. It goes further down that way. The hiking trail goes the other way. We haven't seen any moose yet. Regardless to that, it's a beautiful hike. So a few tips. I always give these tips when I go for hikes. Tip number 1 is to wear the right shoes, because otherwise it can be a very unpleasant trail. Second tip, always bring enough water. Very important, especially on long hikes. And a third tip that I just realized, I'm here on my own. So it's always important that somebody knows where you are and which trail you took. Because if something were to happen, then it could be a long time before you be found. In case you are getting lost somewhere and you have your phone with you, here's a good tip. If you get lost in the woods or somewhere, make a voicemail message. Tell them where you are and what happened. So that when somebody is getting worried and looks for you and calls you on your phone, that doesn't of course gonna ring, it's gonna go to that voice message. So they're gonna hear that voicemail message of you telling where you are. So if you ever get lost somewhere, that's a good tip to be found. So as you see, even though Jasper National Park is lesser known than Banff National Park, it's a very nice place, very pintoresque and definitely worth your visit. The things we did today are all free, except for one. We got one more pit stop. This one is still low budget, but well worth it, and we'll get to that in a second. There's plenty of tours and things you can do besides all the hikes, lakes and the waterfalls. We chose to do all the free stuff because we already did all our sightseeing in Banff, which was on our itinerary. So Jasper for us was just more a passing through. We've got one more pit stop to show you, and this is one of Yolanda's favorites. Welcome to the Miete hot springs in Jasper National Park. No, it's not a deja vu, but if you watched our video of Banff National Park, we also finished up in the hot springs. Because what better way to finish your exploring and hiking and touring around than soaking in these warm waters. The entry price is the same as in Banff, $17.50 Canadian dollars per person. There are 4 pools here, a warm one, a very warm one, a cold one and a very cold one. Of course, we're in the very warm one because we don't like the cold. The Miete hot springs are not just our final pit stop here in Jasper National Park, but also in Canada, for now. Tomorrow we're gonna start our 6-day journey to the Arctic Circle, where our adventure in the Pan American Highway will begin. But that's a story for next week. For now, I'm gonna soak some more of these waters, and we see you in the next video. Ciao for now.